Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to try to make things out of nothing, scraps. I want to sketch them out. I want to show you how to do that. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, like the video. Give me a little help getting started. Like I said, I have no clue what I'm doing. I guess first things first is gotta clean it up a little bit in here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna create plans to do it. I'm gonna share those plans and I'm gonna get them out to you guys. So you should see a link down in the description sharing those plans out to you if you'd like to build what I'm gonna build. So today I'm gonna be building a planter. So it should be popping up on the screen here, just a drawing of it to show you kind of what my idea is. I've already gone and cut up a few items. I'm probably going to make a few mistakes here and there. There's no need for this to be perfect. It's out of rough materials, full dimension wood. So now if you don't know what rough full dimension lumber is, this is a 1x12 in rough dimension. And if you look, it'll actually measure 1 inch. Whereas your nominal lumber, plain down, it starts at 1 inch, but once it's finished, it'll measure 3/4 of an inch. This would be an example of a nominal board. And if you look, it will measure less than 1 full inch. My plans are made with that in mind. They are full dimension. So if you need to tailor the plans to nominal material, go ahead. It should work just fine. But I'm gonna do a couple things tidying up yet, and then after that I'll start putting some pieces together for you. I can't stress how important having a good pair of safety glasses is. Good pair that fits pretty well around your eyes. Stops most of the stuff from coming in. So like I said, we're going to be building this stuff out of scrap. I have some 2x3s that I cut down out of 6x6. They're a couple of uneven. I got these ones down to 1 3/4, and these are down to almost a full 2 inches. So it's just a matter of what I had on hand. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we'll make it work. So these are going to be my legs. They're nothing fancy. Literally just took them out of a 6x6. I'm going to use 2 of these boards for my side boards, for the end boards. That leaves me with 2 boards. I'll probably work that guy into there. I need a total of 4 of these for the bottom, 2 of these for the sides, and then these 2 longer ones here are going to be my long sides of this planter, as you saw in the previous photo. So we're going to probably start with these 2 and attach them to some legs. We're not going to do any kind of measuring. We're just going to do the best to square it up we can. This doesn't have to be perfect. Now something I like to do is I like to keep 2 drills on hand. Keep an impact with my driver in it. And I keep a drill with my countersink drill bit in it that allows me to pilot through some of this material a little bit easier, so that way my screws aren't kicking back or kicking off, and that way they finish flush too. So just gonna square up along the outside edge. I'm gonna keep my 2x3 on the flat side, so 3 inches this way here, 2 inches down here. I'm gonna flush up the top edge up here, and I'm just gonna pop a few pilots into it and then fasten a screw or 2 in place. I offset my screws going back and forth. I'll generally start to the inside edge here, so that way when I do the other side, I'm going to start up top on the outside edge so I can push into that space. That way my screws are bypassing. Keep a box of screws handy that you can easily reach. It's one thing to do too that you might see, this is old lumber. So I've got a little bit of a crown in it here. We can push that out. We'll just grab a clamp, back these two screws up just a little bit, push her down in there. She'll break a little. She might crack a little bit. It's fine. But I'll show you that here real quick. Let's get her a little bit snugged on there. Back your screws up just a little bit. Before I let loose, I'm going to pop a couple more screws down below here just so she doesn't come back on me. Then I'll drive that last one that I couldn't reach up by the... I've learned clamps are your friends. So we got a knot here, so it's going to be a little bit harder. So we'll really want to make sure that we kind of hollow that out just a little bit. We don't want that screw head to push really hard into that hard material, and it'll cause it to split right here, and you really don't like that. There we go. So not too bad for an eyeball. I think I want this edge here, so to kind of clean this up, I just took a wire wheel to it. This was the outside edge of that 6x6. It had been sitting out and weathered for a while, and it may look like it's rough, but you can actually run this and you're not going to get any slivers. All this grain's ridged up, and it looks really cool. So I want this to be on the outside so it's seen. So we've got her pinned so she won't move, but again, I've got that same problem here where, you know, she's blowing up a little bit. So we're just going to go back. We're going to give her a little bit here. And I'm sure there's better methods to doing this, but you work with what you got. There we go. One leg. On to the second one. Should we go ride the tractor? Yeah? Alright, we'll ride the tractor for just a minute. Yep, get in. Oh, you gotta go through the door. Did you fix your shoes? Are they on the right? They are on the right feet now. Good job. Was that fun? Okay, can you unbuckle? Do you need help?
That would take the end.
Nope, you push down here. Push. Nope, push right here. Yep, just push here. Push down real hard there, and then push the door open. Say cheese. Is that what you do for cameras? You gotta say cheese. I didn't even know that. I have to say cheese, or you have to say cheese?
You have to say cheese.
Okay, cheese.
I have said that is too tall.
What? What's the two big leg sides done? Both turned out pretty decent. They're rough. They're not supposed to be anything great. Little cracks that we've got right here. I mean, those will be all right. It'll clean up when it's done, and it'll be really cool when the finished product is done. But it's not a finished piece of cabinetry. It's yard planter. It's gonna be outside. It's gonna be weathered. I'll probably never finish it. Just throw some holes in the bottom, some cloth in the bottom, throw some dirt in it, and so the next thing I'm gonna do, just gonna lay out my sides. So we're just gonna do the same thing over here. Try to get it semi in the right spot. So like I said, I started this screw over here out just a little bit further. So that way I can start this one here on the inside and make sure I'm not hitting anything there. So at this point, I'm just going to take this whole thing and kind of flip it over. I need to get to that end, and obviously I have some limited space. So I don't know if you can tell that, but if this leg's straight at all, have to cock it out just a little bit, which you can do, twist it into shape. So perfect. So all I did was I tried to push the bottom of this in just a little bit. So that way when I come over here, I can tweak this out just a little bit up here and straighten out my edges. And that's again, going off the premise that this is right. We both know it's probably not. Okay, now something you can probably see here pretty easily. It's gonna kind of be a pain in the butt to hold that, screw it. If you don't have anything, go down to Harbor Freight and get yourself a cheap clamp. Probably not right. Once you get it to a point where it'll hold itself, take your clamp off, and then you should be able to manipulate things just a little bit more. I'm good there, but I'm gonna pin it just so it doesn't move. Something I will always do is measure diagonally from leg to leg on the inside corner. Double check your outer dimensions. See if you came close to anything like you should have. Yep. So, at this point, the only thing left is to build the bottom and maybe put a spacer block in the outside edges on the top. So, we'll play with that and see where we end up. So like I was saying earlier, I'm gonna probably have to differ from my plans just a little bit because, well, I ran out of these pieces. I built 3 of them so far of this exact thing. And at one point or another, I think I mismeasured something. So that's all right. I've got some other pieces I think I can work in. So we'll probably take and notch these down just like the plans show. They should come out to here. So just like that. We'll just notch the legs to fit. They look nice. So I'll bring you back here once I have things figured out. So I think I am going to go with that. Everything seems to line up pretty good. So I'm going to find center of this board here. I'm going to find center of my base. So we've got a little bit of gap over here. All right, so here what I'm gonna do, just to make this easy and simple, is I'm just going to place it to the best I can. I know where it has to go. I know I have to pocket around these legs. So I'm just going to mark them. Both sides. Why can a guy not keep track of his tape measure? Oh, found it. Don't know how it ended up down there. So I've got my lines marked here. Just gonna measure back how far I need to come. We need to do about 1.5 inches. So I'm just gonna measure back 1.5 inches and make a mark. I'm gonna do the same to the other side here. Just gonna transfer my lines a little bit, make sure I know what I'm doing. Essentially need to cut out this spot here. So, you got a couple options here. If you have a jigsaw, go ahead and use that. If you got a handsaw, use that. Tool that I found helpful is a little oscillating tool with a wood blade. Makes pretty short work of small little cuts like this. I'm just going to drop back and cut these back cuts. And then I'm going to use my bandsaw to cut inwards. Just going to be a little simpler for that. So. So this cut I'll easily be able to get into my little bandsaw without any issues. However, this one here, it's the wrong direction. So what I'm going to do is just transfer my 2 lines running back to the other side. So pretty easy process. Just make sure you got a good line to follow. So we already know our cross line because we plunged through using the multi-tool. We go. Let's do a test fit. Looks like it'll be pretty close. We might have to take it back just a little bit. I did make those lines pretty close. Get that spacer board out of there. Looks like that side's gonna do just fine. But it does look like we're gonna have to take this one back just a little bit more. Looks good. Let's find that pencil that runs away. Okay. Try again. This one fits nice over here. Whoops-a-doozies. Heard some cracking there. Whoops. Good thing we didn't need that piece. Or that one. Like a glove. I can live with that. Got a runner in there. Screw her down if I can find where I leave my tools. On the wider boards, I try to do 4 screws. I don't think it really matters. So, that's pretty much that. Let's flip her over and see what she looks like. There's 2 boards that I want to get cut on the other side. Might use a couple pieces of scraps. You know, this is a build with scraps, so let's see what we can figure out. Don't worry, this is quite heavy. Yeah, look at that. Almost sits good. Almost. My concrete was okay, it'd be alright. Out on the ground, it'll be fine. Looks kind of neat. Almost looks like it's built out of scraps. Let's pick through here. What do we got? Got a few of these guys. Perfect. Perfect. What? Put these in here nicely again. Holes should be fairly lined up, looking nice. Nothing fancy about it. I'll show it out to you in the rain here in just a second. It'll look just as good. So I guess, guys, the moral of the story is don't be afraid to find some scraps, find some junk, find a place in your area that maybe they do wood products manufacturing or something, and ask them if they need to get rid of some stuff. But a few screws and somebody else's trash, and you can make something kind of nice. Make it for yourself, make it for somebody else. Give it to somebody, sell it, do whatever you want to do, but there's nothing wrong with turning some trash into something useful. Thank you for watching.